One of the best ways to help your kids to succeed is by helping them set goals. Education expert Sunny Verma is here with tips for making them fun and effective. Sunny, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
This is a really important topic. I'm glad we're covering it. Why is it so important for kids to set goals for themselves?
Yeah, well, I think first and foremost, we learn about goal setting in our 20s or 30s or 40s, like way later in our life. And it's truly part of the foundation of success. So one of the things that we have to remember is that if we can start to impose this and teach this to our kids at a very young age, this is definitely something that they're going to take with them for the rest of their lives. So it's absolutely important to do at a very, very young age.
Yeah, so we think it's something that we do when we're adults. How often should kids be setting goals?
I don't think there's a perfect time or a perfect sort of frequency. I think we just have to start to look at it and remember that our kids are very amateur goal setters. They've never set goals before, so we have to look at the types of goals that we set with them. A lot of parents, what we really want and what we want for our kids is truly to have them, have great academic achievement and get good grades. But I think we have to start to look at the day-to-day habits, the behaviors, these little micro goals in terms of frequency that they can do on an ongoing basis that won't just get them better grades, but I think more importantly, get them to yield happier lives.
Okay, so what would be some good micro goals then?
Okay, so first and foremost, the number one thing that parents call me about is how do I raise my child's confidence, right? And I think we got to reverse the question and we've got to start to look at what is preventing my child from really achieving what they want and what's actually causing doubt, right? And first and foremost, that is usually negative self-talk. So for kids, we got to get them out of negative self-talk, and the best way of doing this is positive affirmations. And we got to remember that every single great human being that's walked this earth has given themselves positive affirmations. So as micro goals, the first thing that we have to do is create a behavior in our children to have self-love, right? And what parents can do is buy a simple notebook for them, and every day ask them to write down 3 things that they love about themselves. And every morning wake up and recite it. Okay, so here's the thing. It's going to feel weird at first for essentially everybody that does it. It was weird for me, but essentially this transpires into what you believe and eventually transpires into the confidence that you need to have. So when I look at goal setting for kids, I usually want to look at it as things that we can do to raise their confidence.
Okay, so I mean, it sounds like there's a lot of benefit to setting goals.
Yeah, absolutely. There's massive benefit to setting goals. It not just raises your confidence, but more importantly, it can yield a lot of smiles in your child's life. One of the things that we always are looking at, especially as parents, is as the measuring stick for our children's success tends to be how well are they doing academically. But the truth of it is we want our children to be happy. So the measuring stick should be how often are they smiling. So goal setting can really yield a lot happier lives.
Okay, so you talked about how to measure it. How can we prevent them from feeling discouraged if they don't meet their goals, depending on what their goals they're setting?
Yeah, the best way of looking at it is, what are we really counting, right? I mean, we're really good at telling people what they're not good at. When a child doesn't do well in, let's say, a specific subject at school, we are really good at telling them to sit down, think about it, and think about what they did wrong, why they did it wrong, and how they can how they'll never replicate this in their future. When they do something right, we tell them to take a break. Take a recess, go play with your friends, essentially forget about it. So the best way to encourage our kids is to do the same thing that we do for when they do something wrong is for what they should do when they do something right. And that is, let's sit down and think about, what did you do right? Why did you do it right? And how can you replicate that in your future? What that essentially does is build a sense of esteem and a sense of learning that you can learn from your mistakes, but that doesn't mean you can't learn from your successes.
So there's so much that comes from building up that confidence in a child. The opportunities are endless after that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think confidence is the foundation for everything, right? If you can feel confidence, you can achieve anything in your life.
Good stuff, Sunny. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
Good advice. And if you want to watch this segment again, you can go to our website, ctvmorninglive.ca.